people feeling coming into the organization. So it's not just hiring somebody into the organization, but it's also having them feel included in the organization. And so you mentioned having their voices heard. And that's something that's come up in my research is that, and women, tends to be my specialty, is that they don't feel like their voice is heard or they're not heard or seen as a leader. And so can you say a little bit more about why that's so important?
Yeah. There's Oprah Winfrey has this saying, when she has interviewed the tens of thousands of people that she's interviewed, she says it always comes down to this one idea, this one thought, and it is, do you see me? Do you hear me? And in reinforcing and creating an environment at Tech Systems, I realize it's ultimately the same thing. People want to know, can their voice be heard? Can they convey their ideas in a way that they are listened to and taken seriously? It doesn't mean that you're going to implement their ideas. I think most people recognize that just because I suggest something doesn't mean that all of my suggestions are going to be embraced. But they want to know that you at least consider, you listen to them, and they are given an opportunity to continue to do that. And so we've really put a tremendous amount of effort in creating the platforms and the systems that gives us access to our people so that they can share their ideas and their voice, and then create a context that empowers them in those areas of those situations where we want to give them the thumbs up. We want to empower them to, go forward with some of the ideas that they bring forward. And so people feeling like they can be heard is absolutely critical.
Yeah. And so you've been there 20 years. You started out as was it a recruiter or?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I started out as a recruiter.
Awesome. And then you've worked your way up to the role that you have today. And so what has that journey been like? Obviously the organization's great. You've been there a long time. That says a lot, but what has that been like? And what have you seen as far as inclusion and diversity? I got to catch myself. So as far as inclusion and diversity while being there.
Yeah. So the journey for me, as you said, started out as a technical recruiter, and then I transitioned into a customer-facing business development role, and I was in that role for about 12 years. And over the course of my journey, almost 20 years, we've, like a lot of organizations, our inclusion and diversity journey has been just that. It's been a journey where we've taken 3 steps forward and 1 step back. We've moved forward with initiatives that turned out to not be the right thing to focus on. It's been a trial and error process. But the one thing that we've done is we've remained committed to ensuring that this is not a flavor of the month.
Yeah.
Inclusion and diversity is not, something that we'll focus on this year and then we'll tuck it away in the drawer and never revisit it. It is a strategic initiative for us. It is a part of how we operate now, and it's worked its way into our DNA to where I genuinely believe that if I were pulled out of my job, and I probably shouldn't say this, or not pulled out of my job, but if I weren't necessarily the director of I&D, but I do believe that there's enough groundswell and there's enough of a commitment across our organization that it would continue. What I bring is, because I'm 100% focused on this space as well as the team that I have, we've learned how to use it to accelerate as an enabler to what we do, as well as to take advantage of opportunities, because this is, the lens that we look through 100% of the time because it's our job.